ihe dị mma adaka ọ dị m ka ọmụ nwa ọkụ.
I greet you.
Jee o ruo ebe ahụ ndị echichi.
Ladies and gentlemen, for this good launching, my name
Yes, we'll call him Akpaka. Akpaka Nwoke.
It is with great respect that I welcome all of you to this public lecture and book presentation. Following the 2023 January election, the need to reform two major institutions, INEC and the judiciary, to be more effective and responsive to the aspirations of the Nigerian people has become increasingly evident. Real reform must begin with these institutions if we are serious. A credible electoral body is the bedrock of any democracy. INEC must be fortified to ensure transparent, free and fair elections where every vote counts and the true will of the people is reflected. Similarly, an independent and robust judiciary is essential for upholding the rule of law, ensuring justice, and maintaining public trust in our legal system. The purpose of this public lecture is to inspire a new generation of Nigerians to identify and pursue actionable steps towards unlocking the nation's full potential. The discussion, in line with the Acheb's call for personal accountability, seeks to reimagine Nigeria's trajectory by harnessing the dynamism, innovation, and determination of our youth. Hence, the topic, Beyond Boundaries, Rethinking Nigeria's Future.
There couldn't be any better time. Because it seems like we are all despondent. We had an issue in 2012, January 2012, when we moved the petrol price from 63 or 65 to I think 94 or 1,000 something. 7. We had issues. And very recently, let's just fast forward it. We had issue when we heard that the days of subsidy is over. And instantaneously, we moved from 1 something or 2 something to 500 and something. It looked impracticable, impossible, that we would be unable to do it. But we kept surviving. It's barely 1 year from that. We have now gone to the regime of 1,002. And I told you I just paid 1,003. I've not read Beyond the Boundaries, Rethinking Nigeria's Future. There couldn't be any other time better to rethink Nigeria's future than this moment. I hear that somebody paid 1,200 naira for a liter of fuel. I paid 1,300 to get here. Just yesterday, I paid 1,300. And we keep thinking, how can we survive this? How? On cyberspace, somewhere, watching it. So as you have decided today to come up to honor this, our son, our very own illustrious son, I really, really appreciate you. May God.
that compels us to engage in a critical reflection on our national identity and destiny. Beyond Boundaries, Rethinking Nigeria's Future is not just a literary work, it is a call to examine the roots of our challenges, the scars of our history, and the opportunities that lie ahead. At its core, this book asks the incisive question: what is an entity? When is an entity a nation? A question that has profound implications for our collective understanding of who we are and what we aspire to become. Have we become a nation? Are we aspiring to be a nation? That is actually the social issues that continue to impede our progress. And that's what the book, Beyond Boundaries, tries to educate, to look beyond boundaries for future that is not shaped by division, but by progress. We must confront the economic inequality that has led too many Nigerians behind. The political system that have marginalized entire communities and the social divisions that have fueled conflicts and wars and especially unrest in the various regions of the country. But above all, we must cultivate a sense of national identity that transcends our differences, a sense of belonging that is rooted in our shared values and collective aspirations. The future we seek is one where Nigeria is not just an entity defined by its boundaries, but a true nation, united in purpose, resilient in the face of challenges and committed to the well-being of all. It is a future where our diversity is celebrated as a strength, where our governance is reflective of the will of the people, democracy. The solution, the dream of Nigeria and the dream of Africa, or the dream is a dream free from, where Nigeria is free from hunger, free from injustice, free from corruption, and free from neocolonialism. We are free from economic quagmire, from every indication, from the standard, every standard one can look at, remain at the bottom, or from the rear, in any sphere of life, be it economic development, be it, well, we can also say, well, not in culture, but well, Nigeria and other African countries remains the example of poverty. And that shouldn't be. Well, this is a continent with a lot of natural resources. Where people suffer in the midst of plenty. We think that Nigeria hasn't reached its peaks, and it had been very much crawling in the midst of plenty. So we need to look beyond the challenges. We need to look beyond our colonial past and know that we are an entity. We are people that are blessed by diversity. It's not caused by diversity. We must not be caused. A lot of countries have different nationalities, and they still live. Belgium, at the very best, our democracy should have developed beyond what it is today. We must have that aspiration of free election, freedom from nepotism, and also look forward to the future where our kids will grow and stay in a sustainable ways. Most of the things they call SDGs and things actually geared towards saving the top poor. And where is the poor mostly? It's in Africa. And we shouldn't actually, you say SDGs. Most of the SDG goals the West has grown past it. So these are actually areas where our people are being helped. But used maybe in one way, they baptize it in one way. Because poverty is not so much there, but poverty remains endemic here. We must live and get out from poverty and become what we ought to be. We are not where we're supposed to be. And I think it's time we get past it. Yeah.
Nigeria, is global. We're going global and working well, and we're doing well. Nigerians are smart people. We just need to work together and love ourselves. Find a formidable country. Think home, and then make things work. Things are not working as she should be, but I'm glad that we have a good governor who works. Does everything. Our road is a project master. Schools, bringing everything together. So we thank God for that. So this book is a must read. Yeah, I've always said that in every form. Yeah, they need to. The government in power need to engage the youths. Youths are leaders of tomorrow. Youths need to make the condition and accessible to the leaders. Leaders need to access themselves to the youths anyway. So it's something. The whole world is changing. Youths are, there's restlessness of the youths everywhere. Our population, we are highly densely populated with the youth population. Nigerians need to go back to basic things like good culture from home, agriculture. We need to embrace the truth. It's not easy to rule a big country like Nigeria. It doesn't matter what you do. Some people will still do that. But I'm glad the youths are responding, positively to the facts, and the youths have been called into offices now. They just have to have the patience and work with them. The population is expanding, and it's expanding in every part of the world. So it's not easy to run. So the hardship is the government need to engage them. That's what I can say.
No, I do not see strong institutions and individuals as mutually exclusive. Strong individuals actually produce strong institutions. But of course, if those strong individuals are vested with the values, institutional values, and are ready to sustain and to defend it, it actually takes strong institutions to defend the wrong values or the right values. When they define the right values, then the right values are institutionalized. When they defend the wrong values, then the wrong values take the order, mess up the rule of law, and we are back to the mess. So I think by all means, we really need people who've got the will, the civil will, the political will, and whatever be the case, to stand for the values that we all has pledged to sustain. Yeah, like I want to join my voice with the House of Rep members who have pleaded with Mr. President to reverse the price to somewhere around 617, which is fair enough because everything revolves around PMS in Nigeria. And what this means is that you're going to have more inflation skyrocketing to an unbearable height. So Mr. President should be able to, heed to the Nigerian cry. And now it's coming from our representatives. It really tells you the extent, because what they are meant to represent in the hollow chambers represents emergencies, represent issues of concern that if Mr. President doesn't look into, it could lead this state nation into a state of pandemonium. And this is one of it, and it really demands a presidential intervention as reasonably expected.
That came around, and I must mention some of the opinion that came around that people like you try to censor. I must say that there shouldn't be censorship in a public discourse, and people discuss their experience in governance, no matter the content of it. They spoke, the young man that expressed his opinion is not someone that moves around and expressing his opinion every day. And when we are fortunate to hear such background, this might just be something the way, an act of God. That a man who was at one point, he's trying to villainate. I mean, this man was kind of condemned to a very large extent by the media at the time. So he had an opportunity today to say, this is my side of the story. The side we never heard before. The side many people never heard before. But be it that, like those, he came on the Spirit, and the Spirit moved him. He was following the Spirit. And he said, let me share with you what it is like to be within the corridor, not just the corridors of power, but to be inside the power. When I was speaking there, I said, it's the people. If this is what they've accepted, and that's what they've accepted. It's not all about going onto the streets and protesting. We can come out from the streets and protest to our House of Assembly, our House of Senate, and protest there. We can tell them that these things cannot stand, cannot hold. But if we keep accepting it, then it will hold. If we're saying that this is all it has to be this way, or we just maintaining mood, it's not just walking on the street. We can ride those people. One man alone. This is a three-tier government. And then our legislature is bicameral. The executive is on its own. If they've made this pronouncement, it's not about the kid on the streets. The kid on the street going about and walking on the street. Why can't the kid on the street write to their senators? Hold their House of Reps members accountable. Because there must be some accountability. If you're saying that we are owing $6 billion, all of a sudden now you're flashing to us and we have to start paying 1,200 per liter. Why can't we hold them accountable, keep them honest, let them come clean? If it is true, there's so much corruption. Let's just not keep saying it. You need to start from the grassroots. Let us hold our House of Reps members, our senators accountable. If we hold them accountable, then they will go on and hold the executive accountable. People cannot just come up and decide that everything will change one day.
Having laws. We have laws in this country. It's about the political will to enforce those laws and make sure that these laws are not just obeyed, but whoever flouts these laws face the music. Not those in the political field who always escape, who always wants to, escape the justice, evade the justice system. So I believe that it's not about having so many laws. We already have laws in this country. And it's about having the political will to enforce these laws. So the government, the citizens, the young persons especially, have roles to play in this regard. We will have to rethink. That's the title of the book, Rethinking Nigeria's Future. So those who have lost hope must have to rethink the essence of this country. We have to rethink the way the system. We have to rethink everything. The perceptions we have about this country, we have to rethink them. So without this rethinking this system, we're not having a headway. And we want to see is to see that the outcome of any process really reflects the will of the people by INEC announcing what is cast in the field and not them deciding to play to the gallery. I mean, to possibly collect money, do any other thing to, truncate a mandate given to somebody. So for them to announce what is that the people, what the people voted for, who the people voted for, to announce this, and also the judiciary to insist that the right thing be done, that what actually happened in the field is what is reflected by giving a judgment that truly reflected, and not giving a judgment on the basis of a technicality, but giving a judgment on its merit.